friends, on this Thursday of Holy Week. Hear these words from John chapter 19, starting at verse 17. The soldiers took Jesus prisoner. Carrying his cross by himself, he went out to a place called Skull Place, in Aramaic, Golgotha. That's where they crucified him, and two others with him, one on each side and Jesus in the middle. Pilate had a public notice written and posted on the cross. It read, "Jesus the Nazarene, the King of the Jews." Many of the Jews read the sign, for the place where Jesus was crucified was near the city, and it was written in Aramaic, Latin, and Greek. Therefore, the Jewish chief priest complained to Pilate, "Don't write the King of the Jews, but this man said, 'I am King of the Jews.'" Pilate answered, "What I have written, I've written." When the soldiers crucified Jesus, they took his clothes and his sandals and divided them into 4 shares, one for each soldier. His shirt was seamless, woven as one piece from the top to the bottom. They said to each other, "Let's not tear it. Let's cast lots to see who gets it." This was to fulfill the scripture. They divided my clothes among themselves, and they cast lots for my clothing. That's what the soldiers did. Jesus' mother and his mother's sister Mary, the wife of Clopas, and Mary Magdalene stood near the cross. When Jesus saw his mother and the disciples whom he loved standing nearby, he said to his mother, "Woman, here is your son." Then he said to the disciple, "Here is your mother." And from that time on, the disciple took her into his home. After this, knowing that everything was already completed in order to fulfill the scripture, Jesus said, "I am thirsty." A jar full of sour wine was nearby, so the soldier soaked a sponge in it, placed it on a hyssop branch, and held it to his lips. When he had received the sour wine, Jesus said, "It is completed." Bowing his head, he gave up his life. The crucifixion of Jesus is one of the darkest moments in our world. We know where the story goes from here, don't we? We know what comes in just a few days. And maybe in some way that makes it even darker. To see Jesus led away as a prisoner, to see him mocked, to see who he is questioned, and wondering if we would understand it ourselves. Jesus went to the cross, not because he wanted to, not because there was some law of physics that would prevent him from escaping the fate, but because that's where his love ultimately led him. That's where his love ultimately led him. It was a love that spoke against the culture. It broke the rules of who was right and who was wrong, who was in and who was out. It requires us to think about who God really is versus the image of God that we have made. crucifixion of Jesus Christ was one of the darkest days of our world.